Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks and welcome to a team of clowns. That's right, my team in this video today are going to show more interest in just messing about and probably arguing with each other than actually playing the darn game. So today I'm playing in the FV215B183. This was the original Tier 10 British tank destroyer that used to lead on from the Tortoise. However, Wargaming decided that they wanted to replace the FV215B183 with something that suits the line more, the Badger, which definitely makes sense. And as you can see from the in-game chat, yes, people are already starting to have a go at this Manticore. There's a whole platoon on our team that seems to be more interested in chatting and berating than actually playing the game, as I said. And I was just looking here going, oh my word, what is this absolute clown fiesta that's about to happen here? Now I can understand those players stopping there to shoot. I mean, I stopped to shoot. Shame I missed my shell. But I just don't understand why my team, for some unknown reason at the beginning, this whole platoon is just saying to report the Manticore, that the Manticore is awful. I don't think the Manticore is doing anything wrong. I think the best way to play this map when you're playing a light tank and you spawn south is to make your way along here, make your way up here, go into this bush, and then make the cross play to be able to go down to here to then work up into this bush. However, if they have a bat chat who's sitting on the opposite side, you don't want to really make that push play when you're in the Manticore, otherwise the bat chat's going to get caught. And so I decided to defend the honor of the Manticore in the chat, as you can see, and tell my team that he's trying to get into the MVP position. If you guys had a clue, you would know. Help him kill the bat chat, and he can win. Unfortunately, whenever I'm scouting in this position, my team don't seem to realize this. And I'm telling the Manticore that I'm going to help him now if he's going to push. Hopefully I'll be able to dump one of the shells. But so many times when I spot this location, the team doesn't just make their way up on the hill and aim down. And you can see that I'm trying to communicate in the chat to the Manticore rather than berate them, asking them whether they can advance, and that I have a shot for them. And, oh, that was so close. It would have been amazing to get rid of the team's only light tank. And you can see that bat chat was waiting for the Manticore. The Manticore actually drops back here. I think he should advance into this dip to be able to use those bushes to be able to get better vision. But I think you can't really critique the Manticore for not making that play, as it is slightly dangerous. And in a way, you know, I kind of agree with the T110E3 in chat. Can we all just be quiet and play? Interestingly, if I'd made the aggressive play to go forwards into the bush in the Manticore, or if the Manticore had made the aggressive play like I would have got caught by the bat chat in that scenario. And seeing how there's no tank destroyers in this location over here that were able to assist the Manticore, it's looking like it was going to be, would have been the Manticore's demise if they had pushed. So just, what a bizarre start for this game, at least for me. But when I think about it, the start isn't that bizarre. There's always some loudmouth players telling people what they should have done or what they should have not done. And then look, okay, I just managed to get up on the hill. This platoon have lost practically all of their hit points, and now they are leaving. Oh my goodness gracious. And of course, if this platoon decides to leave, I'm going to have to abandon the T110E3. And this is, I know the T110E3 is asking for help, but what can I really do in this situation? Sit up on the hill and then get swarmed because the medium tanks decided to go and push up on the hill and then all fall back, all in a big platoon. Well, I guess blaming this Manticore as to why we aren't winning this battle. Now, I didn't actually see what happened to the Manticore there because I was so confused with what was going up on the hill. Did we just have two tanks try and rush down and deal with an AMX 50B? You have to rewind the video to go and take a look at that. But I was more focused on trying to get out of there before I would die as well. And in this position, falling back on Malinovka is not really the most stupid thing that you can do. Falling back before your opponents overwhelm you can actually have some outstanding results. It was actually how I managed to 3-mark the T110E4, I believe. Talk about 3-marking. You don't have to hit many shots like that. 1,809 to be able to 3-mark an FV215B183. finally, the whole reason to play this tank, which is outrageous alpha damage, is what it is all about. Now, unfortunately, the Manticore that I defended is now going to kind of shame themselves a little bit here by using some choice language. But, you know what? I could almost... I mean, I would never defend what the Manticore was saying, but I can understand that he's feeling heated. He just spawned in on Malinovka. He got caught out. It sucks. But to have, like, your team berating you at the same time, goodness gracious, that's not what you want. Talk about team berating you. We are down 5,000 hit points and we are down 6 tanks. Our whole team is outnumbered 2-1 in this situation, although the Foch 155 finishing off the Chieftain is a good start in hopefully managing to come back into this game. So, in this kind of a scenario, it's just about waiting and hoping, see if we can get some shots off. And it's also sometimes about just keeping calm and trying to ignore people who are just mouthing off in the chat. One of my biggest recommendations to all of you, if you want to mute people quickly, is if you hold your control key, you can put your mouse on to finish off the T-57 Heavy. But if you want to mute people quickly, you can hold your control key, and then all you have to do is go near their name, just to the left of their name, and while I can't show you in the replay, you can just click, and then it doesn't add them to your blacklist, so maybe they're annoying you by telling you to fall back constantly. You can quickly mute a player, because I'm not sure what it's like for you, but if somebody's telling me to do something that clearly I shouldn't do because they're silly and they don't comprehend the whole situation, sometimes that noise can end up being distracting. And so just hold the control key, mouse over, and then you can just left click to be able to mute people. And you're not adding them to your blacklist. You're not filling that 1,000 slots that you have on your blacklist, or maybe marking them in the future. But you are preventing them from filling your feed, your audio feed, or with noise. So that's one of the best things that I can recommend. Talking about best things, how about loading an armor-piercing shell to be able to overmatch the side of the T-110E3 along the lower hull there? All of those American tanks have got about, I think it's about 49 or even 55 millimeters of armor. But when you've got a 183mm caliber gun like on the FV215B1A3 here, you are able to overmatch 60mm plates, which means that we can easily go through the side of the T110E3 with an eco round. I believe the armor-piercing rounds on this tank only cost 2,250. So yeah, if you're able to penetrate them, you can actually end up making reasonable profit in an FV215B1A3. And even though this is one of the most, if not the most expensive tanks to play in the game, the only reason why it ends up being so expensive, I guess, is because people are whiffing the premium rounds, which are 8,000 credits a pop. Okay, so our team is still down 4,000 hit points here, just over. But with the fall of the M48, we're actually starting to get back into it. I have no idea what's going on, but like, these medium tanks, they just won't be quiet. I guess it's because they're all in a platoon. I wish they weren't, so they just go back into the garage and pick another tank. And so I actually decide to throw a little bit of shade here, telling them that the Manticore actually played great. Now, I'm not sure that that's really the case in retrospect, but I just felt so frustrated at this stage of the game, just having to sit here and wait and stew in their negativity. And another thing I'd like to say is interactions like that, though. I didn't say anything like super weird, but allowing players like this to distract you mentally, it's never going to be good. And also, if you ever find yourself, if any of you have been chat banned in World of Tanks, or you just find yourself randomly chatting and just sprouting out nonsense because I don't know, maybe you're frustrated in the heat of the moment, it doesn't ever really help. If anyone's played really competitive games like League of Legends, and you know how much like mental is important in League of Legends, of keeping your team positive and snowballing the game, then that also applies to World of Tanks. I think if you were to maybe test out at the start of every game being really negative, and then do that for like 1,000 battles, say like, oh, next loss, I've lost 15 games in a row at the start of a battle, for example, and do 1,000 battles. And then the next time, do 1,000 battles where you say, hi friends, good luck and have fun at the start of every battle. I'd be really interested to see whether just like the mentality would even have an impact at all in the outcome of the average battle. Talking about having an impact, we literally are outnumbered 2-1 now, with 6 opponents on the enemy and 3 tank destroyers left. And it does feel like it's tank destroyer wars in this game, with only TDs left on the enemy team apart from a Super Conqueror, who I guess is going to hopefully try and provide some vision for them. And I'm just waiting to make sure that I manage to get rid of this Super Conqueror as they come down the slope here. But yeah, I think positivity and setting a tone can end up being a positive force for your team. Whereas what this platoon are doing in the chat, it's and also the Manticle's guilty of it now. That's never going to do anything for anyone. All right, so I'm just trying to feather the Super Conqueror here, but there's a Foch. I got to take that chance. I'm definitely going to get spotted, but hopefully I can hide behind the 121B. I'm just praying my friends are going to help me out, and I actually managed to ricochet the Super Conqueror, so I'm actually reversing now to no longer get hit by the Grilla. And luckily for me, the STRV-103B on my team manages to finish them off, and I'm just hoping that my loaders can manage to get the shell in quick enough for me to be able to catch this Grilla. Are we going to get him? Boom, baby, there we go. Another 699 damage, now up to 4 kills and 4,200 damage that we've managed to see. And just like that, we are now back in this game, showing you that sometimes, especially with a team like this, all you can really end up doing is camping and just hoping for the best, especially when you're playing one of the biggest ambush tanks in the game. So now I'm going to be playing with White Tone Lader, who is going to be playing in their STRV-103B, and I'm just hoping that we're going to be able to get through this battle. Although, hope isn't really ever an efficient tool for winning, right? What it comes down to is, can the STRV use their camera rating to be able to spot for me to be able to use my big gun? So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to ask in chat now, STRV, can you spot? I ping the map, and I'm going to blind fire to see if I can be able to possibly catch a lucky shell inside the cap circle. And then I'm going to press my F8 key to let the STRV know that I'm reloading, because the last thing that I would want is for him to YOLO in while I've still got like a 21-second reload. Now I think I should probably press my F2 key to say that I will help you rather than to ask him for help. But oh my word, doesn't look like the STRV needs any help, as they just shut down the FV215B183 on the enemy team. And suddenly this game is starting to look a lot more winnable. And can you imagine the feeling of winning a game like this? And I'm also going to set the scene. I've been playing World of Tanks for about 12 hours at this point, and it was the final game of the day. So I think I've been a little bit frustrated that evening as well. I don't think things had gone my way. So hopefully we could do this one last moment to be able to clutch a victory at the end of a horrid evening of World of Tanks. That is what my emotions were like right now. And the STRV spots the STRV on the enemy team. I'm going to fire an HE shell right through the side of the tank for 576. And now with 2 minutes left, can we find the FV405? So in this situation, we've got to try and find Dead Mouse on the enemy team here. And really, if he kills me, it's more about just being aggressive and getting him spotted. Luckily, I'm the one who was actually spotting that FV405. The STRV hits him once, and that is an easy shot through the side of the barn to pick up our 6k damage. And you know what? A shout out to Superflow for the GG well played at the end of the game. And also, a GG well played to White Tone Lader, who actually pulled off the big carry here with their extra vision. And White Tone Lader was actually an anonymized name. They were Tiger79. I messaged them after that battle at midnight and found out that they enjoy my videos at least occasionally. So Tiger79, big shout out to you. And thank you very much for that epic team play in your STRV-103B. And this for me is what video games are about. Quite often you can be in this kind of like sea of negativity and toxicity, and sometimes it can be really hard, but it's definitely one of the things I've got better over the years as I've been more and more accustomed to it, is pushing it all to the side, muting as much as possible, and getting down to what it's really about, and that is winning the game and trying to work with your allies. Which, for me at least, is a miracle, considering what a team of clowns we had here. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know how you handle clowns inside online video games. Do you ignore them? Do you try and troll them? Do you engage with them? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.